Hey guys, it's Drummond. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. So this week's video is going to be about mind games. So I thought this would be a really good topic, especially since Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and I feel like there's so many people out there that play mind games with each other, and it's not all right. Mind games are never good to have in a relationship. And I'm going to talk a little bit about why in this video. So if you're interested, keep watching. If you're not, click away. Whatever, make sure you subscribe. But I wanted to talk about mind games because I feel like there's so many people out there playing them on each other instead of just communicating. So an example would be if your boyfriend doesn't text you as much as you'd like him to, or you want your boyfriend to take you out someplace fancy on Valentine's Day, but he's showing no signs of it. And instead of just being like, hey, take me someplace nice, you're like, I'm going to set something on the table that he's going to see. I'm going to ignore his text messages and see if he realizes that he misses me. And honestly, it's just not a good way to be in a relationship. If you're at the point where you're having to play mind games with someone to get them to do something that you want without just being upfront and telling them what you want, then you're probably not in a really healthy relationship. So another mind game that I've seen people do is when they first start dating people, they put them through different tests to see if they are worth dating. And I feel like that's just setting yourself up for sabotaging the relationship from the beginning. You shouldn't be going on dates with someone that you feel like you have to put through a test to see if they are worthy of a relationship. Granted, I understand that you want to date someone that when bad times come, you want them to stick around, but you shouldn't force bad things to happen in a relationship just to see if they'll stick around. I know what it feels like to have someone that doesn't stick around when bad times come. I know when I was dating my boyfriend for several years, I was always the bright positive light, and whenever he had issues, I was there for him. And then my granddad passed away, and it was really, really hard for me to stay positive. And I really needed someone to be there for me, and he just couldn't do it. He wasn't the type of person that could bring my spirits up, and I really needed that at that point. Instead of sticking around and helping me through that, he decided to find someone else that could make him happy. And that kind of left me in a really dark spot. But I've gotten past that and realized that he wasn't the type of person that I needed in my life. But that doesn't mean that every single person I go on a date with now, I'm going to put through 1,000 tests to see if they pass. And I've seen people do that, and it's crazy. I was actually talking to a guy, and he decided that he wasn't going to text me for a week. And a week later, he messages me and he's like, "You've passed the test." And I'm like, "What test did I pass?" He was like, "I wanted to see if I could not text you for an entire week and see if you'd go crazy." And I'm just like, wow, okay, so you are testing me, and that's kind of crazy to say that you're purposely not texting me for an entire week just to see how I would react. Granted, I understand wanting to see if someone's going to flip out and go crazy, but I also feel like you shouldn't purposely try to sabotage something, especially if you're interested in that person. And going a week without talking to me honestly made me reevaluate what I thought about that person. Mainly because in today's dating world, it almost seems like holding someone's attention for more than a couple of days is really hard, because most people, especially on dating apps like Tinder or in the gay world, Grindr, it seems like guys are talking to so many different people that it's really hard for them to commit to one person because they're having 30 different conversations. So playing mind games with someone who's already dealing with other people disappearing and reappearing, I feel like isn't such a great idea. I've also had some people put me through the 20 question game. Granted, I love that game and I think it's a great way to get to know people, but I also don't feel like it should be used as a way to find everyone's flaws, because honestly, if you're searching for flaws in someone, you're going to find them. And nothing hurts more than you being the type of person who is constantly trying to find the positive in people even when bad times come, and be dating someone who is the complete opposite, who is constantly trying to find the negative and is constantly seeking your faults and flaws. And I mean, if you're constantly looking for negative things in someone, you're going to find them. So I'm the type of person that I'm constantly looking for the good things. And even when bad things happen, I try to look on the bright side. And I mainly do that because I feel like that's what I'm looking for in someone. I want someone to love me for all the great things that I am, as well as some of the bad things, just because I'm not perfect and no one is. And if someone is just so negative and constantly trying to find your flaws, they're going to find them. And if they're constantly trying to find reasons to break up with you, they're going to find them. So when it comes to playing games, I feel like if you're at that point, you are the type of person that you're going to find a flaw in someone, you're going to find something negative, and you're going to end that relationship anyway. So if you're at that point, just call it quits, because you obviously don't like that person enough to want to keep them in your life. So funny story, one of my previous boyfriends, towards the beginning of when I first came out, actually created a fake profile on Facebook with some of his friends just so that he could send me a friend request and see if I would flirt back with him. And granted, at the time, Facebook was kind of a new social media. At that point, all social media was kind of new. But he didn't do such a great job at making the profile real, mainly because he only had a few pictures of the person and there was no tags with friends, and he didn't really have very many friends. The profile seemed fake, but I messaged the person and I was like, hey, thanks for the friend request, but I don't think we've met. And my boyfriend on the other side with his friends was messaging me, like flirting with me, telling me I was attractive, and I was just like, thank you, I appreciate that. And I'm the type of person that if I'm dating someone, I'm going to be very vocal about it. I mean, most of my social media is pretty much flooded with pictures of my boyfriend when I'm dating someone. But I'm also the type of person that if someone gets a little bit too flirty, I'm just like, hey, just to let you know, I do have a boyfriend. And sometimes people will kind of flip it and be like, oh, and they'll push to see how far they can get you to flirt before they kind of cross lines. So I'm kind of the person that I'm just like, hey, here's the line, you're not going to cross it. That's another mind game. But yeah, I feel like there's just so many different ways that you can play mind games with people, and it's just not okay. Like, there's no type of mind game that you should be playing, and flirting with people who are already in relationships is a whole nother game that you shouldn't be playing, because you should never try to break someone up. If they're unhappy, they should end the relationship on their own, not because they're talking to someone else. Granted, sometimes that's what people need to realize that they're in a shitty relationship and they need to get out. But I believe you're setting yourself up for heartbreak, because a lot of times if people aren't ready and you start talking to them and you're flirting with them and they're kind of flirting back, but you don't really know if they're going to end the relationship or not. There's a lot of people out there who are just unhappy in their relationship, but they feel stuck. Some people have kids, some people have houses, pets, jobs, cars together. There's lots of reasons why someone might be unhappy with their current relationship, but they still feel very tied down, and talking to you, they feel great, but maybe they're also playing mind games with you. Maybe they're kind of just playing with your emotions and making you think that maybe they might leave their relationship for you, and at the end of the day, that might not happen. So honestly, when it comes to mind games, just don't do it. They're not good, they're not healthy, they're not good for your mental health or the people's mental health that you're playing around with. But I hope you guys like this video, and like I said at the beginning, make sure you click the subscribe button and make sure you click the little notification bell, because I post new videos every Friday, or at least try to. I'm trying to get on that swing of things for 2019. I'm up right now at 11 o'clock at night trying to record this video, and if you haven't noticed already, I kind of have a little bit of a black eye. I kind of tried to fix it with makeup. Thankfully, my sister and I have very similar skin tones. But yeah, my coworker actually has a house full of 45 cats. And I went to a game night there, and if you guys don't know this about me, I am deathly allergic to cats. I love cats and dogs, but I'm definitely allergic to cats. And I had taken some allergy medicine really early that day, and it didn't help at all. And ever since then, I've been very congested, and my eyes doing like weird things. I don't know if you can tell, but it's very red. And yeah. And if you haven't already, make sure you check out some of my other videos. I do a lot of videos around the LGBT community. I actually got this really cool YouTube shirt that says LGBT content creator. It's a pretty awesome shirt. Probably gonna wear it to VidCon this year. If any of you guys are going, message me in the comment section below. I'd love to meet you guys when I'm out there. But I will see you guys next week. Bye.